Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I have a layout for Traci Reed Designs, and this went up on Traci's blog, and we are scrap lifting Heather, who is on the design team. And so at the beginning of the layout, I did show the layout that I chose from Heather's Instagram, and so that is the one I'm going to play with today. And so I'm going to keep in the same format as what she had, in the fact that I'm going to have a diagonal design, and I'm also going to use hearts and a wreath cut file as well, just like Heather did on her layout. And there you see I did put it in the corner as well, so you can kind of see how the layout comes together and how it matches Heather's. I am going to end up putting my photo down at the bottom left of the page instead of more toward the top right like Heather has hers. So I do make that little change, but I do stay pretty true to her layout. So what I'm working on here is my background, and for my layout today I am using the A Flutter collection. And so I have taken this mixed media element that is in the digital kit, and I created this white background with that sort of paint splotch on it from the digital kit. And then what I did is I took a stamp and some worn lipstick, Distress Oxide, added some stamping on a diagonal, and then took some worn lipstick Distress Stain and added some splatters. So that's going to be my background, and I did that to add just a little bit more interest to my background paper and to give it a bit of texture. So once I have that, I am going to put that off to the side and let it dry, and I'm going to go ahead here and take the different pieces of embellishments and then my hearts that I have cut out, as well as the wreath, and I'm going to start to build my background while I'm waiting for my actual background pattern paper to dry. And what I'm going to do here is play around with this heart and the wreath and try to get where I want to place these on the page. My photos are a little bit larger than the ones that Heather is using in hers, so I need to make sure I position it in such a way that you can still see at least a little bit of the wreath. My wreath is also not, I don't think, as large as hers as well, so I fiddle with this just a little bit to try to figure out how I want to lay it on the page. So that's what you're going to see me do here. I'm going to kind of play with this, kind of put together the little bit of embellishing that's going to go on that larger heart, and then when I come back, you're going to see that I have glued this portion onto my background. I wanted to make sure that I had this down so that I would be able to build the rest of my layout and not run out of space to put my photo, because mine, like I said, is a larger size photo. So there you see I have that part down, and I'm going to go ahead here and build my embellishments and my clusters that go with the hearts on that diagonal for the rest of the page. So basically I have some florals and some butterflies, and then these hearts that are going to make up that diagonal design. And so just like Heather had on hers, I am going to play with that diagonal and all of these hearts. And so I'm just going to build these here. I'm using a combination of the digital elements and the sticker sheets. And so I've just gone ahead and grabbed some bits and pieces, and I'm going to just create some clusters. So I definitely have more embellishing happening on my page than Heather does. But like I said, it stays pretty true to her original design. And so I'm just going to fiddle around with this a little bit, and then I'm going to go off camera and glue all of these down. So you will see that they do move just ever so slightly, but again, they stay in that same diagonal. So once I have that done, as you can see, I've got everything glued down. I did pop up my photo on some fun foam, and then the butterflies have a little bit of lift, and then that circular element, I also popped that up. I always like to add a little bit of dimension, especially when I'm working with digital collections, because mostly everything I use is paper. So adding a little bit of lift just gives a little bit extra interest to the page. And the other way that I add some interest is I take and do a few finishing touches like what I'm showing you here, which is some puffy hearts that I'm putting in each embellishment cluster. It just adds a little bit of different dimension, different texture to the page. And then I am also coming in with some enamel dots, and I'm going to scatter those in the diagonal on the page. And Heather had also done that in her layout, as well as I'm going to take some sequins. So I have both enamel dots and sequins that I'm going to scatter on a diagonal from that top right to the bottom left of the page to keep in that same diagonal design that we have going on this page. So I'm just randomly adding some glue, and then I'm just taking my little crystal katana tool here and adding some sequins. And so once I get all of these sequins on the page, that is pretty much going to do it for this one. Don't forget to check out Traci's blog, and you can see lots of other design team members who have scrapbooked or chosen a layout to scrap lift from Heather, and so you can see what they took for inspiration and how their layouts turned out. I will have the link in the description box for Traci's blog so that you can go and check those out. And as always, you can always go grab any of these collections that we use and create your own layouts. So there you have it. I have all the sequins down. You will see the still photos coming up. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.